Mr. Witness, you are welcome. I will not do anything, just to hand you over to the legal team because this is a continuation of yesterday's hearing. Counsel, you need to take from there.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning, Mr. Colley.
No.
Welcome back. I am reminding you that you are still on the oath. Yesterday, we had stopped at the point where we were looking at the 16 properties that were owned by the former president that were eventually sold, registered with the deeds registry.
Right.
Yes, and you had told this committee that these 16 are now in the digital registry, registered under the digital registry, and you'll be able, you can run a search and find them in the registry.
Yeah.
Were you able to run a search for these 16 properties?
Yes, I did. I was able to see some of them, but because yesterday we left here late, so we endeavored to do that this morning. But because of limited time, we were able to get some documents. But we'll continue endeavor. Maybe by Monday, we should be able to provide all of them.
How many were you able to find?
Six.
Do you have the documents here?
Yes.
Okay, kindly hand over to the secretariat so we can just quickly take a look.
So what I did was, I just noted the reference numbers and brought the manual registers so that we can physically verify them and trace the history.
All right, but it seems for each one you just extracted a page from each deed?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I sent the whole the entire documents to the secretariat.
Yes.
And now, since I've made reference to the previous document or serial registration, we should be able to physically inspect them from the register books here.
Okay.
I was going to suggest that if you give us a list of all the, so that we'll provide history of all the properties.
Yes, that is what we actually want to do.
Yes, so that will make our work easy.
Yes, because from the list you have submitted to us,
yeah.
It's about 180.
80.
Let me not just throw a number, but it's about 180 something properties. And from the
88.
list, 88, yes. And from the list that the Attorney General had submitted to the High Court, which eventually was the same list that was produced in the legal notice that established the commission, is about 150 something properties.
Okay.
The commission's reports has 200 and something.
Yes.
Yes. So it's like a different figure.
Yeah.
So to do that right now, it's going to be, we won't be done today.
No.
Yes. So what we would do, Honorable Chair, is to, the list of properties that we need the history and information on, we would liaise with the Secretariat so they can send the witness the list, rather than having to go through the register for over 200 properties today, to help save time.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Colley, can we keep these documents that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so Mr. Colley, quick question before we just move on to other issues. Or same, I still have questions about the digital register, the manual register, and also the history. During your first testimony, we had discussed about the effect of cancellation of title. Yeah. And you had stated that once the title is cancelled, the property now reverts back to the Minister of Lands.
Right.
And therefore, if it's to come back into the system, that is the register again. If it's leased to somebody else and now it's coming back into the registry, it's coming as a new, it will come with as a new property.
Yeah, new title, yeah.
With no history.
With no history, yeah.
Okay, but it seems like these properties, the history still exists.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why yesterday I was insisting that if it is forfeited, it doesn't necessarily mean it should be cancelled.
Okay.
That's why you insisted that maybe you thought I was confused, but I saw what I was saying. That if the order was to forfeit it, so if it's forfeited, it can be cancelled. So if it is forfeited, eventually it can be sold and not cancelled. So if it is not cancelled, then that means the history will still reflect in the recital.
Okay.
Yes.
So what about this document that you submitted with the 188 properties?
Yeah.
The certain properties that are cancelled.
Exactly.
So those ones, if they are sold or allocated, if they are coming back into the registry, they will not come back with history.
Exactly. It will come as a new list. Cancel, issue new list, and there will be no trace of their previous owner.
Okay.
Yes.
So why were some of these properties cancelled, their titles cancelled, and the others not cancelled?
I mean, I've looked at the white paper. If you have a copy.
Yes.
In the white of the recommendation of decisions of cabinet, it is indicated that some should be cancelled, some forfeited and be sold. So based on the content of the provision of the white paper, so it was acted upon by the authorities. So it's a prerogative of the cabinet.
All right.
Yes.
So, Mr. Colley, is there a possibility that some of these properties that the title was already cancelled, has already been cancelled, are now being registered again in the registry?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know?
I wouldn't know, no.
Okay. So perhaps if you say that only 16 properties have been registered out of all the properties owned by the former president,
it is presumed that the others
Yeah.
were cancelled.
yes, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
so
They
you,
may come in a new list
yes,
without my knowledge.
if you had your knowledge.
Yeah.
So we can say there's a possibility that more than 16 properties have been registered.
Yes, it's possible.
All right, thank you. That is clear. Yesterday, I believe one of the first properties I had asked you to look at or show us from the registry, which was eventually cancelled. If I'm not wrong, it bears K355, is it? 355.
653, is it? 653. Or version procedure.
No, not that one. Let me just get the correct number. So the correct serial number.
Okay.
It's number K355 2009 of 2009.
355.
Yes, it was the first property that we looked at in the registers yesterday. It's located, actually the property is described in your submissions. I got this serial number from the memo.
Okay.
From your memo.
Memo.
So yes, its property is described as Jembe Hotel Junction, 2 in bracket, Kanilai Cultural Center. Size 6.10 hectares. And it says location Tanifing Municipality. I think that's the property we've noticed that it was cancelled. The title was cancelled in 2018. Whilst the commission was still ongoing.
Okay. The K 355.
Yes.
2009.
Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't it cancelled in 2018?
Yes.
Yes. That property, according to the commission's report, is in the TDA area, Tourism Development Area.
Go to point, yes.
Yes.
TDA, yes.
The lands in the TDA area, who manages them?
I think Gambia Tourism Board.
Yes, the GT board. Does the GT board keep its own register of lands in the TDA?
No, they come to the ministry to register.
So all lands in the TDA,
leases, yes.
leases and subleases,
Yes.
are all registered.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility that leases are not registered with the deeds registry?
No, they should be registered.
They should be,
Yeah.
at all times.
Yes, at all time. Leases, sub-leases, yeah.
Very well. So this particular property, cancelled in 2018, did it come back into the register, or is it that if it's coming back into the register, the history would be killed?
Yes.
And it cannot be traced
No, it
again?
cannot be traced. In fact, I sent my colleague to go and get a copy of the reference serial number.
Okay.
And a copy of the cancellation letter. Yeah.
But that cancellation was not done by GT board, it was done by
Lands.
land.
Yeah.
So even properties in the TDA area,
They can cancel lands. Can cancel.
lands can cancel.
Yeah.
Can GT board cancel leases in the TDA?
No, they cancel sub-leases.
Subleases.
Yes, yeah.
But leases would be cancelled by.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you know how many properties in the TDA have been cancelled?
No.
You wouldn't know.
No.
Okay. But even out of that 188 list that you have provided to the committee, your report, or should your submission,
Yeah.
landed property, this 188 properties, the locations are all indicated.
Yeah.
From just glancing through this submission, looks like land in the TDA was not included.
I mean, they may be included, but we don't indicate that they're TDA also.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you physically look at or physically see the list or the assignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even in your digital register, it wouldn't.
No, we don't classify TDA or other things. We have KD and
Combo.
combo, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this how it has always been done, even with the manual registers?
Yes.
You don't see a need
Don't classify,
to classify TDA.
No.
But would the tourism board have a register
They should have
They should.
register, especially for subleases.
for sublease?
Yeah, because they are the ones who normally come to register subleases, even though the sublease so maybe another entity. So, but they're the ones who register. So they should have a register of all subleases that they register.
Okay.
Yeah.
So leases in the TDA are still issued by the Minister of Lands.
Lease, because the lease is heavily assigned to or given to the tourism board.
Okay.
They now turn around to sublease to the enterprises that want to conduct business.
All right.
So,
and then they would come and register
And
that
register, yes.
with the deeds registry.
Yeah.
Would you have your 2012 register? I know we said we're not going to look at all the properties, but just
Yes,
Uh,
2012.
just a few ones. K 173 2012.
173, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want us to get them or get the register?
No, it's fine. We would still send you the list.
Exactly,
These,
sure.
these just some of the plots in the TDA
Okay.
that we wanted. Maybe we've already just highlighted one. Perhaps 373 2015.
2050. Yeah.
Okay, yes. It's okay. We will add this one to the other list and then share so that you can pull out all of the
Okay.
history and the information we need.
All right.
Looking at the register yesterday, it seems like, or not just seems like, there were properties being, title was being cancelled even before the commission completed its work. As in the case of the cultural center in court. And then there were properties that, or titles that were cancelled in June 2020.
Yeah.
So,
First June, yeah.
yes, and we had also, I had requested that perhaps you search the registry, the records, central records process. that perhaps you had received more requests from the Director of Lands and Survey, other than the letters of 2021,
okay,
and maybe even 2020. Is it December 2020, and the letters that you have submitted dated 2021? Because from indications, it looks like, unless looking at the register, the properties that were cancelled in June, 1st of June, after 2018,
okay,
1st of June 2020. So perhaps maybe there's a letter from the Director of Lands and Survey that precedes the cancellation request you received from Mr. Tar.
yeah.
All right. So maybe if that would be part of your submissions by next week Friday, that you need to provide to the committee as well, whether there were any letters that the Attorney General's Chamber said received from Director of Lands and Survey before the 2021 letters.
Okay.
Mr. Colley, let me just clarify further. We talked about the cancelled titles coming into the registry will come in new, bearing new numbers. That was the case for the manual records as well, when you were using the manual register.
Yes.
Okay, they will also
cancelled. Everything is cancelled.
Everything is cancelled. Okay. I'm asking for your opinion here. In your opinion, do you think that once the title is cancelled, the history being cancelled in the register as well, or the history of the property being killed in the register as well, is that ideal? Especially in a situation that we are faced with right now, trying to trace these properties again.
It's not ideal in this situation.
Yes.
In other situations like then it's be fine. But in this case, especially for the purpose of transparency, it's not ideal. Yeah.
It's not ideal to kill the history. Because now the properties can be allocated to somebody or sold, and no one, apart from the Minister of Lands, nobody would know.
Will be able to know.
Okay. All right. But then ideally, what would be the remedy in this situation? How can title be cancelled, reintroduced to the register again, but still maintaining the history? How would that be done? Would it be done through the recitals of the deed or the lease?
Exactly, the recital. Okay. Should be by the recital. You should be able to tell the history, especially. Yeah.
And it will indicate that at some point this was the serial registration number, which was eventually cancelled.
Yes.
Okay, that would preserve the history of the property.
The history, yeah.
All right.
But sometimes some cancel deliberately, and if you look at even the document that I shared with you, 1 or 2, the recital history is not indicated. And it's a challenge. You want to review council's work, they'll tell you that's not your job. You're supposed to register.
You have just mentioned about cancellation and re-entry. Can you please explain to the committee what you were referring to there?
It's like re-entry is when a lease is issued to another entity. For some reason, the person breaches the covenant. Maybe the Minister of Lands wants to now take the land back to repossess the land, so they re-enter. And now they cancel that lease and they issue a new lease.
At that instance, cancellation of title is ideal.
Yes. in my view.
Okay, and even erasing the history of that property is ideal as well?
Yes, no, that means once it is re-entered and cancelled, that means that will be the end of the
That's
history.
it. Okay. But in this situation, these cancelled properties, we wouldn't describe them as re-entry, would we?
No, they are not re-entry.
Okay.
Forfeited.
This 188 list of properties that you provided, did you compile this after the committee issued you a summons, or was
Yes, after
Okay.
the committee issued the summons.
where did you obtain this list of properties?
Both in the manual registers and in the system.
And the digital register.
Yeah.
And you are certain that all of these properties belong to the former president?
Yes, they have connection because the history shows that in fact is the last owner. As far as the register is concerned.
Is concerned
Yeah.
that he was the last owner.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility that the list is on this list of 188 properties is incomplete?
It's incomplete. It's possible. Yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Incomplete because you did
We
not
have to
finalize.
physically inspect.
Okay.
Physically inspect the, so we may have skipped or not see all of them, because it's like you have to physically or sit and go to serial number
Okay.
books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you doing this also by using the commission's report? You didn't make use of the commission.
No.
Perhaps I would now, Honorable Chair, apply that the witness now uses the commission's report and also tries to redo the search and see if he will still come up with more than the 188.
Okay.
Because the commission had about 288 properties.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll endeavor, because
Yes.
if they just if they are listed in the report, then it will be easy. But if they just say 208.
No, they are listed in the
They are listed.
Yes.
Okay, so that's easy. Just
serial number.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that will be easy. That's okay. Noted.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Maybe you might not be able to find the 288 exactly. Perhaps somewhere registered with the district authority.
Yeah, that is
Yes,
possible.
but still,
We'll endeavor to.
yes, do the search again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Part of your digital submissions, the ones you sent to the Secretariat via email, we have here the receipts, stamp duty receipts. But they don't seem to be for all of the 16 that you have registered.
Yeah, others would not see them.
Okay, is there a possibility that these properties were registered without payment of stamp duty?
No.
No. You're certain that they were paid?
I'm certain.
Okay.
But it's one of our checklists and a requirement that not
That's
pay
part of
stamp
it.
duty. Yeah.
So if we were to get in touch with DRA, they would be able
they should be able to, yeah.
they should be able to provide
Providing
the receipts.
receipt, yeah.
Okay. Who paid the stamp duty? In this
Fees are respected there. Normally the buyer. But like
generally the buyer would pay the stamp duty.
the buyer,
Okay.
because the capital gains tax will be paid by the seller.
Who paid the capital gains tax here?
Should be indicated. I think the buyers in this case.
The buyer is paying the capital gains tax.
There's no, I don't think they,
That's what it is. Since he's the one that sold
if it is
it.
government now, government, I don't think maybe it should be waived. So our concern should be stamp duty, not the capital gains tax, especially if it is being sold by government. So it's not government paying and then its own money again. On the consolidated.
Maybe the question we will ask GRA.
GRA, okay.
Whether stamp duty has been paid.
Paid, yes.
Okay.
We can confirm by who to.
All right. But you said it's certain that stamp duty has been paid. You see how it sounds that the payment of stamp capital gains tax, government selling land, now having to pay tax to itself. All right. Honorable Chair, these are all the questions I have for the witness at this point. The others information we need from him, he would need to take time to provide it. So we will send him the list of properties that we have, and also he will also go by the commission's report as well to run a search, another search.
Okay, does that mean now we can...
Yes, the committee can now take over.
Take over.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, again. All members, are you ready for your intervention? The legal team is done with the witness. There you go. Yeah, have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, Mr. Colley, for coming and for helping us also to have a better understanding on the land issues relating to the former president. Yeah, I think on the issue of cancellation of deed, which I think you've highlighted very clearly, like what happens. I think I had a question on that, but I think you've clearly highlighted what actually happened. It differs back to the land. But then the question I have on there is on the issue of the communication between the Registrar General and also the Lands Ministry. Now, when you receive such and then you cancel, do you communicate to Lands, or what actually happened? What how do you guys communicate to ensure that you are online? Because otherwise, you may have canceled something on their side, they may have something still active. So how do you align with your work?
Because cancellation is triggered by them. They're the ones who write the request for cancellation. So if we cancel, we write back to them.
Yes, but in this particular situation, I think the cancellation, there was a memo that was sent to you by Kimbenta.
Yes, in fact, yesterday.
Yes.
I acknowledge that, in fact, that was irregular.
Okay, that's fine.
Irregular, but we copied the...
Okay, so ordinarily it should have come from the lands, and then you do that.
We do the action, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, that's clear. Then, on the list of lands that were given to us here, what I've seen actually in 2015, it seems there were almost like 63 leases in 2015. Not sure if you have this emoji. Yeah, actually you can call it the on the annex show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at in 2015 in particular,
you
see that a list of properties. When I counted, it was like 63 properties that were listed in the same year. Yeah. And to
91.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
It's about 63 properties in total.
Yes.
Now, with this, doesn't this trigger something at the
abnormal?
Yeah, to be something abnormal in this day and age where we have anti-money laundering laws, etc., etc. Does it trigger anything as far as you are concerned? Because one person applying for lease almost like 63 in one given year. Does this trigger something at the other level? Or you just process as they come?
We process as they come, yes.
So there is nothing that you guys could verify at the level of the ministry, particularly, on money laundering and stuff like that?
No.
You don't?
No, we don't. But no, we don't correct. I mean, we have a money laundering unit at the ministry.
Yeah.
But then, At the time, he didn't occur to us to investigate.
Yes, I know, and I know also because of he's the head of state also. Maybe, but ordinarily, if an ordinary person does this, wouldn't you think it would be necessary, at least for your department that deals with money laundering, to be alerted?
Yes.
Because this looks very abnormal.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree.
Thank you. Let's see here. Now, coming back to the digital database, because I know when I see this, this book becomes really very tedious for you to go through, particularly looking for something. What is the current situation of your digital transition from this physical, item you have to the digital transition? Where are you now?
To be honest, maybe it is an opportunity for us to at least, bring these things here to the attention of the committee.
Yeah.
So that one of the recommendations should be how to better digitize this system. Even though the policy is on the way, Ministry of Lands are working on this policy, land policy, and one of the recommendations is to have digitized and cadastral mapping. Our challenge was, when we started in 2019, we had a consultant who built the system. So 2019, but we were having it was a challenge to pay annually. It was almost $500,000 million. So at some point, we were having challenge back and forth. We shut down the system. Eventually, could not continue. So we had to terminate the contract and now to migrate it. Migration was a challenge. We didn't have good ICT. Capacity was lacking at the ministry to migrate the old system to the new system. So that's why, in fact, some of the documents we may not be able to produce because we gave us time to migrate, but we did not. We contacted the digital economy and everything. It was a challenge. I think there's a common problem at the, for government, ICT.
Okay.
Yes. So it's really a challenge.
Now, were you doing this in consultation or in collaboration with the Minister of Lands, or this was just been done on
this was just the ministry done?
Yeah. Actually, I think we'll take note of that. But I think maybe we need to have a better system where you can actually the systems can interact, where you can easily verify things coming from lands, at the with the click of a button. Because I know this is really very tedious, and then if somebody gives you 10, 20, or 30. It will take a lot of time before you're able to get those things. Yeah. Thank you very much. The chair, that's all I have.
JANNEH. Thank you very much, Chair. And thank you, Mr. Colley, for coming. To start with, for me, I want to take you back on the 16 properties, even though the chair has drawn a conclusion, taking reference of your internal memo. Looking at the first page of the memo, sorry, not actually the memo. It should be this document, actually emerged from you.
Yeah.
Yes, and somewhere you said that this is the second paragraph I should read of the properties. I have another there is somewhere you mentioned, Mr. Colley, on the second paragraph, and I read, of these 16 properties highlighted in yellow, were subsequently sold by the Solicitor General and Legal Secretary, acting on behalf of the government of the Gambia, to the individuals or entities named herein. Copies of the relevant deeds are attached for your attention. So what I want to get clear here is the highlights in yellow that you did mention in your this write-up. Can you help us to actually give us these specific deeds based on this specific highlight you mentioned. These 16 properties.
Yes. I think I provided up to more than 10 also.
We provided more
The
than,
names and everything.
and these are around the TDA.
No, Banjo.
Banjo.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Mr. Colley, I want us to, if you can in any way also provide us with the name on whom JANNEH Hotel is registered to, if that is possible in any way, either from your register here also. That is the current state of registration of JANNEH Hotel.
Okay. We'll endeavor to.
That is fine.
information.
Mr. Colley, I also want us to look at the latest on RS 59, 60, and 61. Aside from not finding the latest in relation to the response of RS 59,
That is cancellation letter.
yes.
Yes.
Hmm?
You'll be able to provide a copy.
You are able to provide a
We'll
copy.
provide a copy.
You will provide a
Yeah.
copy. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I want us to look at, because you said a statement here yesterday during your admission with regards to the former registrar not being able to move when either he was transferred or not. I think I would really like to have more clarity on that in terms of the office that he was occupying and which office was he supposed to move in.
Okay. So in 2018, when the internal transfer was made by the Solicitor General, I was supposed to occupy Mr. Jallo's office as acting Registrar General. But then Mr. Jallo was also supposed to move to one Mr. Toure's office, who was then the Registrar of Companies. But Mr. Toure wasn't willing to move. That's how the problem started. He wasn't willing to, because he was asked to move to the main criminal division.
If I may ask, who may be this Mr. Toure? Can you tell us his full
His
name?
name is Lamin Toure.
Lamin Toure.
Yeah, LK Toure.
So Jallo was supposed to replace Mr. Toure.
Mr. Toure as yes, acting Registrar of Companies.
Companies.
So Mr. Toure wasn't willing to move. So eventually, we were going back and forth. In fact, that's also maybe contributed as to why there was no handing over. So eventually, they had to call the police. This was after two months or so. So every day I go, even though I was acting Registrar General, in fact, my daily day-to-day duties were handled by Mr. Jallo. Conducting my deeds, he was doing that. Even though on paper I was acting Registrar General. So, but I always daily report to the then SG, who promised that you will ask him to move and all. But he too, they were constrained because they could not physically remove the then Registrar of Companies.
So meaning the police have to come.
The police had to come.
And when the police came in, he was moved.
He also has moved.
And Ali occupied the
He
office.
moved to the
Was there any instance as well where you served as a deputy to Ali in that office?
Yes, I was.
You were.
Yeah.
But if also I can recall, I think yesterday you said in that office, normally there is no deputy attached.
No. Currently, we don't have, a deputy registrar general.
So why, in your situation, in between you and Aliu, a deputy was attached to the office?
So that was then. Then I was acting deputy registrar general.
But it never happened within the minutes.
Since then, no.
And it ends with you.
Yes, up till now we don't have a deputy registrar general.
So when Aliu left the Registrar of Companies, who replaced him?
Registrar of Companies,
Yeah,
was replaced by Marie Gomez.
Marity Gomez.
Yeah.
In normal circumstances, if personnel are deployed from one department to the other, how does it work in terms of communications also?
There should be a formal handing over. I mean, once it is confirmed that you're appointed to a particular position, or maybe a memo is given to you to act in for certain capacity.
That is even my point.
There should be handing over.
Not in fact the handing over part of it, but let's say a written document like an authority informing an individual that we're moving you from the office of the Registrar General to the office of
Registrar of
the
Companies.
Registrar of Companies.
There was that communication.
There is always that communication.
Yes.
Okay. That might be my final question, I believe. Mr. Colley, considering the look of things and revaluations, will it be right to say the Ministry of Justice disregards the court orders and set up their own structures to deal with the sales of former president's assets?
No, I don't think.
Giving you examples wherein the civil litigation director was writing to the office of the Registrar General, giving instructions. In a normal setup even, who's serious in between a Registrar General and a Director of Civil?
Because it was not deputy, it was deputy, gentleman was deputy.
Then even when you are a deputy at the office of the Registrar General, who actually...
I mean, the gentleman who wrote to me was deputy director.
Deputy Director.
Yeah. So that was abnormal.
That was abnormal.
Yeah.
You know,
normal.
the reason why I brought in this question, you know, if you look at the white paper in the conclusion also, one of the reasons they advanced to bring in the JANNEH Commission was actually because of some of the administrative lapses that were conducted during the former regime, with the hope that with the new Gambia, some of those things could be changed.
Yeah.
But it appears that is not the case. I don't know what will be your take in that.
I agree. The action was abnormal. It was not in order.
The action was in order, and that tells the Ministry of Justice were really compromising with the laws of the land instead of protecting the laws of the land. Will that be the case?
No, I think the government advisors. So,
no, you know, let me say this. You know, when my colleague asked about the money laundering thing, we were very happy to say it was going to be very good to have that in our recommendations, wherein government can consider those lapses. Now, will it not also be fair to also raise the alarm, to inform the government, more especially being the principal advisor to the government, by recommending to the government that the way we have our structures and the manners that we deal with our issues are not right, and we need them to be done A, B, C, D, more especially looking at how the former president's asset were handled.
That is right. I agree.
That is right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Honorable colleagues. Lead counsel, any more questions for clarity? Then would it then consulting? Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
No more questions, Honorable Chair, but we will just forward the list of things we need from the witness and then he will produce.
Okay.
Thank you. Perhaps let me just remind the witness of the things that he is supposed to submit to the committee next Friday. Yes. So, Mr. Colley, in addition to the list of properties that we'll be giving you, you will also have to run a search of the properties in the Commission's report.
Yeah.
Yes. And produce another table of properties. Letters. The first one being the letter cancelling the title of the Kanilai Cultural Center in 2018.
Yeah.
Yes, and any other letters of cancellation that you received from the Department of Lands and Survey, including perhaps maybe a letter which may not have been addressed to you in 2020.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then at this juncture, since there is no further question from members and the legal had concluded what they wanted to do for the day, then we would adjourn the hearings. For the benefit of the public, there will be no public hearings during the course of next week, as the committee is going to do some work outside the premises of the assembly. Therefore, the meeting is adjourned until
8th of September.
On the 8th of September at 11 o'clock.